So we are live. So is my voice audible? Can someone confirm? Okay, so today is the day three of Hello with Dart programming for the Flutter Festival, and we'll start with a brief history of Dart. So Dart had its first public appearances on a GoTo conference in Denmark. That was October 10 to October 12. It was a 3-day conference in 2012. So Dart was being built before that, like 2011ish. We have traces of that in 2011 also. And in 2013, November 14th, Dart's first release, that is 1.0, was announced. And here's the here's the quote of the day. I wanted to have something new. So, and to run a Dart Hello World program, we just need these three lines of code. So now we'll practice on Dart.dev. We can also run the Dart program on our local machine, on your favorite code editor, text editor, could be VS Code, could be any. Okay, but for this tutorial, we'll run most of our code in a browser. Okay, so this is the boilerplate. Let's run the code in the VS Code itself. Okay, so yeah, so we'll open our VS Code in our desired folder, and we'll make a new file here. Let's name it day 3 like that. Okay, let's make it Flutter Festival. Okay, and to run a basic Dart program, we need a main function. Just like Java, just like C, just like C++, we'll make a void main function that returns nothing because it's specified void, and we'll run this print hello world. That's it. To run this, we'll type that run and the file name, that is flutterfestival.dart. This will execute our code, and that's it. Uh, okay, yeah. So this will execute our code. Hello world. So today the scope of this tutorial, or you can say live stream or anything, will be data types in Dart and making, like you can say, classes and objects in Dart. Okay, we'll do basically two things. That is defining some data types, knowing about how Dart works, and second one is defining some objects, create some classes and their objects. We'll start with, so before I start, Dart is a dynamic language, and you can also define some particular data types. Like it can be strict as well as dynamic. For example, we have a var, and uh, okay, we have a var. Let's name it name, and my name is Sachin. Okay, cool. It works. We can also strictly define the variable data type. Okay, I'll name it like go with string str underscore name, and I'll also write that's simple. Simple. So in any case, if we are not clear of which data type our program will use, we can just make it dynamic using the var keyword. And if we are particular and you want to avoid some runtime exceptions, so it's recommended and industry level practice to use the strict data types, like predefine the data types which you are going to use in the program. And in some cases, there are many cases where you have data types which you can't define at the starting of the program. You can use one more thing, like it's final keyword. We'll use uh, final underscore name is equal to, in this case, this data type or the value cannot be changed. Okay, if I run the program, this program will run fine. But suppose if I try to change the value, this will give me an error. Okay, we have a red error here. Final variable can only be set once. So if we want a variable which we can't change and we shouldn't change, we don't want to change, we'll mark it final. So going away from final, we also have const, works more or less the same with final. You can remember one and you are good to go. And then we have integer data types, like I can go age, my age is 20, and then we have uh, a list, and it could be list of uh, we can say laptops, and it's an empty list now. What if I only want to add string in the list? Suppose we added four, like, and then brands like HP and let's Dell and like Asus. Okay, so here's a problem. We have four. That is not actually a string. I can explicitly tell my Dart code to make it a string. That's how we do it. We mark the list and specify that this list is only a string. All the elements can only be string. This can be done this way or before the list starts. Both ways are fine. Then we have other option, that is set. So set is more like an list, but you can say uh, like a different version. We'll come to the like the key value pairs thing, that is a map in Dart. You can recall, you can say it's just like JSON, the map. Before that, I would like to touch on sets. So set is, we can say data, or you can say laptops. Okay, we'll go with data. Create a new name, and I can say HP, Asus, and that is with it. Now, suppose uh, we need a object. Before that, every data type is an object in Dart. Uh, Only the null is not an object. So we can have a map here. Let's name the map as my map, and this is a key value pair map. So maps are very important part. You will be using it a lot of times. Most of the times when you are dealing with HTTP APIs, making some HTTP connections, or whatever, you're getting some JSON data, maps are important. So in this case, I'll write name. Name is equal to Simran, and then age. It is 20, and you can have uh, laptop. Okay, I have an Asus laptop. Okay, okay, that's great. But if I want to specify the data type of the map, what I have to do is mark it as string, and the other one, well, not like that, string, and the other data type. Here it's dynamic because I have age also and strings mix. Suppose I do here string. This will give me an error because the value of the key value pair must be a string. Like the element type integer can't be assigned to the map value. Let me zoom it a little bit. Okay. So I'm letting it uh, dynamic. Okay, so that we can have a dynamic map. Next, our next work is and our next work is defining some classes. We'll define some classes and use their objects. This is very important topic because you all know classes are important and are highly used throughout the development, and this is the main function. Data types in Dart are done. Let me see if I have missed something. Okay, so I have strings, const, set, map list. Yeah, we have covered most of the data types like var, string, int, list, set, map. You will be using these only. You can explore the rest on like this official documentation of Dart can have a language tour and basic of Dart program. You can go on and on and on. But today I will be guiding you for the main and very important concepts that you must be knowing to build your first Android app or iOS app, what you want. Okay, now we'll create some classes. For that, we have a class. We'll name the class. I'll name it name it school. Okay, school. Okay, it's a school. So this school, I want name of the school. Okay, string name. Then I want a string that is location. Let's name it address. Address. Uh, let's not make it address. Age. How old is it? Okay, and then we can have student. Count how many student it has. That's okay for now. Now in this class we'll have a method with the same name, okay, that is school, and this method is the constructor. We are overloading the default constructor. We'll just type this dot name, this dot age, and this dot student. And by default, every data type in Dart is non-nullable. So if you want your data type to be null, for instance, you'll write this, you'll make a question mark. But I don't want to confuse you guys. Let's make it simple. Just know that, keeping in your mind that every data type in Dart is non-nullable, but you can explicitly say that this is null, this can be null, and at points you can use the exclamation sign to throw an error whenever data type is like here, like this. Okay, so you can add an exclamation point anytime you want to say that, okay, if this is null, give me an exception error. Okay, your program won't like break on the way. Dart will give an exception. We'll throw an exception. You can handle that easily. And this is good to go. Now we'll do one more thing. We'll just make an object. Our next task is to make an object, and after that will you make some static methods which we could run without making any specific object of that class. We'll go in our main method. Here we'll call our class, that is, we'll make a school variable. My name is obj1 is equal to new keyword and school. We want to make a new school. So if you remove the new keyword, this will work, but having it is a good practice. So we are in name. It is 10-year. Okay, it is 10-year-old school. Student is 5,000. Okay. Okay, by mistake I wrote it string. This must be integer. My bad. Okay. So this works. If I remove the new keyword, this doesn't give me an error, but seen as it's a good practice to add the new keyword as the Dart recommends us to do so. Okay, and this is fine. So if I run this, okay, we'll also consume those objects. Okay, I'll print, not this, print obj1 dot name. Okay, I'll print the name also. Okay, and run the file. Yeah, name is name here. Like we'll add our university only, GNDU here. Okay, and here we go. We have GNDU with us. Okay, so next thing is to make a method in this class. We'll just write function name like it's first my first method. Okay, this will have no parameters and it will just print uh, name is, we'll use a dollar sign and name that will print the name variable. Okay, age and student count. That's fine. Okay, so if we run this method here, uh, I'll go obj1 dot this method. This will print the following detail. Let's see if it works or not. Okay, so name is GNDU, age is 10, student count is 5000. This is a method of the class school. As simple as that. Okay, and now we'll make a static method. Okay, it is like mm, you have to write static and then the method name. Let's make it new, not new. Let's make it my second method. That is fine. My second method, which doesn't have any parameters, will print I am a class method. That's it. Okay, this method is inside the class school and will run without creating an object. Okay, we are making an object here named obj1. What I will do is school dot my second method and we'll run it. Okay, we won't make this for now, just for the demonstration purposes. Yeah, hello world, this is printed here and here is I am a class method. That is it. So Dart is a very easy as well as very scalable language. That was made so that the actual logical code could be compiled into different architectures, whether it is Android, web, iOS, and so on, desktop, like for Linux, for Windows, different armatures like x86, 64. Okay, that's why that was built. Initially, that was more built to take place of JavaScript and was specifically built for the web. But it was adopted by the Flutter team. It was obviously developed by Google, but adopted by the Flutter team. So uh, now we all are using Dart, and the last surveys of 2020 2019, Dart is a very loved language because it's fast execution. You can run all in Dart. What happens, the code runs on a single thread. That means you have a thread where a processor, you can say a single core or a single thread processor, where your code runs. Okay, and this gives its amazingly fast speed. And suppose you want some task running independently, you can create isolates in Flutter. Flutter also supports singletons. Singletons are classes which can have at most only one object. In many cases, you will have like a connection with Firebase in your app or a connection with database in your app. You don't want to make those connection again and again and again. Okay, this could happen like if a program has some problems or like if you did a mistake, your connections are made again and again. In that case, in that specific case, you will use Flutter singletons. And you can explore these things on and on. Like everyone does explore, so you will know a lot more about that. And after we talked about singletons in Dart basically, like, you have one more opportunity. So as discussed in the first video, I'm going to provide you a cloud, Google Cloud, like link. Just give me a moment for learning Dart from officially from Google. One I told you is the Dart documentation, but this could be boring at times. So Flutter team, like the Flutter Festival. So Google has given us one more opportunity so that you guys can learn that in a very interesting manners, like you learned about Google Cloud. So that it is more or less same. Uh, mm, like you learned about Google Cloud by many challenges. You learn about Dart with many challenges. Okay. Let me share the link with you. Give me a moment. Yeah, here's the link. So you can enroll in this quest, and this quest is free till 30th of March, I guess. You have complete 1 month to practice your Dart skills, and you can improve your Dart skills on this link. It's cloudskillboost.google.com. I'll put the link. Yeah, and that's it for today. And any questions are welcome in the WhatsApp group which we made for the Flutter community. And also you can comment under this video, and any suggestions or anything is appreciated. Thank you everyone.